going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. Warframe, doing something a little bit different. I got a comment the other day asking if I would show my setup for the Helios and the Deconstructor. Since it's the Sentinel I use the most, the next Sentinel beyond that I use the most would be my Jing, however you say that, which is basically set up the same way in terms of elements. And the only difference really between the Helios and the Jing that I use is based off of whether I want to use it as close up, which is obviously the Helios since it's melee weapon, or the Jing, which is quiet and long distance basically. But you'll see here I'm using the same two elements on both of them as well. But okay, Helios, and you're probably going to be surprised at this setup. Okay, it's nothing crazy as you're looking at it here. Of course, we got the targeting preceptor, or the receptor, of course, and we got the investigator, and I always make sure that I carry the scanners for it. Works out well. Steel fiber, 70% armor, vitality, 140% health, full regen. I like the coolant leak. Great to have coolant leak. I've enjoyed this since this mod came out. Guardian, maxed out. Fast deflection, a little bit of shield, never ranked it up. Sanctuary, about halfway. This is basically what it was before they turned it into like the full on extra 5 or 6 more slots, which I've never bothered upping it any higher. And then redirection at 175. Now, sure, all of these can still be maxed out, which would require a number of forma. But for the most part, I honestly have to say, and you've watched almost all of my videos, they never die. My Sentinels only die in the extreme cases where I've died, and you know, the enemies around me are so many that they're just taking out my Sentinel while I'm waiting to revive or be revived. But for the most part, they don't die. Now, I could, one of these days, I will actually probably rank this up all the way. In doing so, I'm going to also have to put former on my Jing, which I use the most, or the second most. I actually don't use the carrier too much, to be honest, but nonetheless. Okay, Deconstructor setup, real simple here. Again, I'm actually planning on putting forma into this bad boy, just because I've got some ideas of what I could do with it. So, what you're looking at here, you got, there goes my phone, pressure point. I got whirlwind for flight speed, heavy trauma because it is a impact weapon. Berlin Scourge with Northwind right now, give me my viral. Focus energy with volcanic edge, give me my radiation. 1 extra slot open. Some decent numbers over here, 55 status chance, 209 impact, viral 165, radiation 132. Honestly, like I said, I do want to put some forma into, so I would probably follow up on this video now that I've put one out. One to put in this slot here, which could be something like, say, a finisher, maybe. We'll see. Not really sure how I'd want to go with it. But I mean, there's a couple of things that you could put in here, obviously. But I may even, dropping the status chance, potentially I'd be more inclined to actually just make these into their full-on energy mods or element mods. And that would really bring up my major damage on this. But again, the Deconstructor, this is it. This is the bad boy that I run around with all the time. Nothing crazy, nothing special. But with that Whirlwind mod, it does attack a lot more often, however you want to say that. Yeah. And heavy trauma. I guess I could put Prime heavy trauma on it. But since I've only got one of those, I'm going to keep that for when I actually use it on a weapon that has heavy impact. Quick return could come back. I mean, there's a number of things I could put on here, which I will probably run through depending upon how I rank it up. But for the most part, this is it. I keep them simple. Shush, Lotus. If you have comments or questions about it, please do feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed it. And I will catch you guys in the next episodes. Thanks for watching, as always. We'll see you soon.